Public speaking is the top fear in the world. Both of us were international students when we came to the US, and we were terrified. Job interviews, classroom presentations, we used to suck at all of these things. And eventually we decided to join Toastmasters, which is an amazing public speaking club. Went there weekly, religiously, and after a few months, we realized we'd overcome this fear. We realized that this is actually a learnable, teachable skill that anyone, anywhere in the world can actually become better at. With that inspiration, we decided to create Orai, Oral Artificial Intelligence, a communication coach in your pocket. How does it work? It gives instant personalized speech feedback using AI. What does all that mean? Let's see a live demo. So if I just hit the record button and start speaking, Orai is listening to me. It's counting for my ums and ahs, all those filler words that really hamper your credibility. It tells you if you're talking very, very fast or very slow. It also measures your energy variation. Am I sounding boring, monotone, or do I vary my tone up and down? And it is instant feedback. No people behind, you get instant results. So the first one, my fillers, all those were counted. You will also notice my pace, 144 words per minute, not bad. My energy went up towards the end. And then Orai said, not too bad, gives me some qualitative feedback. And you'll notice my speech clarity grade, A+. My transcript, and I can play this back as well. So that's Orai. It works. It's a real thing. It's not a pseudo thing. We launched 9 months ago. You can download it on the App Store right now. It has a global presence as well. We're not just in the US, but Southeast Asia and other parts of Africa. But today we're about to talk to you about Orai Enterprise. We launched Orai as a free consumer app, as a side project in school, trying to see if we can help other people. But soon we realized we had people from Ernst & Young using the app, people from McKinsey using the app, people from pharmaceutical salespeople using the app. And we just interact with our users and they said, oh, we love this thing. It's giving us instant feedback. And their managers said, do you have an enterprise version for this? We said, what's that? They said, oh, the app, but give me some dashboards, some reporting, some integration. And we're like, we don't have that, but let's work together to create that. And that's what we have been doing for the last 4 months. We help people in charge of human capital, which is basically any employee, to use AI to deliver communication coaching at scale. No longer do you have to limit to the C-levels by having an in-person coach. With Orai, you can do this at scale. How? Managers can create custom training content in Orai. If I have a salespeople, I can make a nice training path for my salespeople on my product marketing messages. The reps can do them. I can see my leaderboards, who is performing how, and I can deep dive more and see individual feedback that Orai is giving. So I can really find areas of effectiveness. Where do I need to give some more coaching? We have done pilots. These are some of the customer testimonials. One of them said, we are putting hard numbers on soft skills. That's what Orai is big about. And in terms of the market,
Orai presents, so the corporate training market is $130 billion in size. Orai is focusing on a niche of this, which is the communication training market, which is about $8 billion in revenue. According to Training Magazine's report, around 20% increase was observed in expenditures over 2016 to 2017. And companies on average are spending $1,000 per employee on training. So to target this unique market opportunity, we created a very unique business model focused towards enterprises. Our enterprise offers unlimited recording and unlimited usage of our application, but as Danish mentioned, it has integrations for reporting, it has integrations for creating your own content, and integrates with single sign-on systems for companies. But we also have a free tier. We created the free tier because it has enabled us to get leads like McKinsey and like Regeneron and like EY into our sales pipeline. In the free model, you can use the app for a limited amount of time for a limited feature sets. But if companies are interested, and to qualify these free leads, we've created a pro tier where individuals get unlimited access to all the features inside the application. If we talk about our competitive landscape, there are 2 silos. The first are speech coaches. Speech coaches do personalized training where they get 20 of your top executives together and make them sit in a room and train you really hard for 2 days. But this is not scalable, and it's really hard to assign effectiveness measures around this. What Orai and other companies are trying to do is we go and make this entire process scalable and give you personalized feedback and numbers on how effective you are while you're presenting. And we make this on demand, so you can access it maybe 5 minutes before you're pitching at Baylor. So to really quantify our current competition, we created this matrix. All our competitors are starting to offer similar feedback in terms of pace, fillers, and energy. But what Orai has done is we are able to contextualize based on your accents. So we support English for Spanish accent, English for Indian accents, English for Chinese accent, and we offer clarity scores. How clear were you when you're enunciating your speech? We offer lessons, which no other competitor has, and we've collaborated with top speech coaches in the US to create and craft these lessons so that people can improve gradually as they practice. We're the first ones to have a mobile application, and our mobile app is way ahead of what our competitors are still trying to create. We are also looking into offering video analysis and content analysis in our pipeline. In terms of our future features, the first thing in our pipeline is gamification. Enterprise customers are really excited about pitting employees against each other and seeing who's improving, where can we offer those slight bonuses so that people are excited about coaching themselves every day. We're also looking into non-verbal feedback. This is from our pitch at TechCrunch, where we're trying to contextualize if people are shuffling their feet, are you making the right eye contact, are you moving your hands too much when you're talking? And the next is content analysis. We want to look into storytelling. How can we help you present your stories better? How can we help reduce wordiness in your speech? All of these things are a part of our future pipeline, and the technology looks really exciting.
In terms of go-to-market, we have two: an inbound marketing campaign as well as an outbound sales teams. The inbound includes our app that really captures this top of the funnel so that we can start qualifying these people. But as an outbound sales, this is an enterprise play. We'll have a direct sales team, just outbound marketing to these people. And we are focusing on medium to larger organizations. In our pipeline, we have spoken over the last 4 months to over 25 different corporations. These are just a few of them. You'll notice Wharton is an anomaly there because we're doing a research study on how quantification of speech really leads to persuasiveness. But otherwise, we have done pilots with EY, with Return, and McKinsey. We're also targeting speech coaches. They reached out to us and saying, how can we integrate this AI into our coaching? And we see them as more of a channel partner. In terms of the team, we are 2 co-founders. I used to fear public speaking, as I said, but have overcome this fear, gave my TED Talk last year, was president of my Toastmasters chapter, and really love this idea. Paritoshir can teach a machine anything. That's how we have been building this on a bootstrap manner. But you need more people to build a solid company. And that's why we have Asim, a product manager. We have 2 full-time developers outsourced in India, in Spain, as well as in South Korea. In terms of financial projections, we are estimating an account average customer value will be around $20,000 for an enterprise. And by 2018, we'll have 5 of them in our bank. In terms of expenses, we are estimating around $200,000 for this year. Today, we're looking for $100,000, half of which has been committed by friends and family on a convertible note, 5% interest, 20% discount, and a $2 million cap. The other $50,000 is in your hands. This will help us hit milestones like 5 enterprise customers, as well as the video capabilities. And these are not just our milestones. We've been talking with many investors out in Silicon Valley, Toronto, and Boston. These are the ones they said will really help you show product market fit. But next step, by end of 2018, we want to start formally raising a seed round that will really help us scale this thing, as those are the milestones for that. In terms of future market, there's a lot of things you can do. But as we said, we are starting with medium to larger corporations focused on sales, as well as learning and development. And that's Orai, a communication coach in your pocket.
So obviously year 2, net income negative 900. You're getting scouting. I assume you're anticipating if we get to market. At what point do you break even?
It is still a formula. In ours, we projected for 2 years. but we have some assumptions that show us around the third year, end of third year.
Should be break even.
Yeah.
And you said that the other competitors that you showed up there, do any of them have, you said none of them have a mobile app at this point?
Only 2 of them do, but they only have an iOS app. So the yellow circles on Presenter and Likso, you can also see them on the App Store. They have an iOS app, no Android yet. And Presenter has raised 1.8 million.
How are the enterprises using it now, like McKinsey? What are they using it for exactly?
So 2 things. One is L&D, learning and development. So they hire new associates. They all have to go through a communication or presentation coaching workshop. That's usually in-person led or through webinars. They're seeing Orai as an interactive lessons as well as reinforcement. So training doesn't stop after a 2-day workshop, it continues afterwards. And apart from training, it's a coaching tool as well. So their associates have this on-demand coach that they can practice with anytime, anywhere, before a meeting perhaps.
Is your software going to integrate with corporate LMS systems?
Yeah. Yeah, so LMS corporations told us, can you show us these metrics not on your dashboard but on your LMS? That's something we're having conversations about.
How are you pricing the enterprise? So you have a free version, $9.99 for individuals, and then what was the pricing on?
I can show you our volume discount kind of pricing model that we're using. So we think our sweet spot is around here, around larger than 250 kind of employees. And that gives you an annual kind of contract of $18,000 to $20,000.
Have you tried any marketing with Salesforce.com or, I mean, you know, large enterprises that work with Salesforces that with the elevator pitch, I mean, to do a major license like that at a discounted rate, you probably could do pretty well. And I don't know if any of your other competitors are doing that yet.
I haven't considered that, but I would love to hear more after this.
Any patent or anything to get, or is it just first mover advantage?
First mover advantage right now, but we are talking with our lawyers for patent as well.
How many end-user apps do you have out there? People can just download. How many have downloaded or using it today?
We have 80K downloads in the
80,000
last
downloads
9 months
that
for
people
free.
are actively using it.
Around, so we had a large drop off end of this year when we launched a new version of the app. Before that, the usage was very little, like less than 5% retention. But this year we launched version 2.0, which has lessons and some more engagement, and we have seen around 10% engagement retention.
Okay. Any cool applications that came out of that when you looked at what people were doing with it? Were there any new ideas?
That's how we got into the enterprise. Because the enterprise guys told us, like a sales guy said, oh, I leave my phone on the side when I'm making my calls, and it counts my ums and ahs. We're like, oh, you can use this for sales training or sales coaching. So we started approaching that market. EY started using the free version in their executive presence class. And they reached out to me, they're like, oh, we're using it for this case. Do you have this other features, like video? We're like, no, but we can. So that's how we really got into the enterprise.
What is the transcription piece of it? What do people use that for?
Transcription is to get an understanding of where you actually had your ums and ahs, which section were you too fast, what were you not pronunciating clearly.
Can you use it in healthcare, for example, automating healthcare records?
We looked into healthcare, the accuracy required for that is 99.9% that computers can't give right now.
Okay.
Why was year 2 so big with expense? You showed $1.8 million.
Because we really want to scale fast. So this is the expense breakdown.
Yeah.
It requires around 4 or 5 developers full-time and a sales team, as well as some AI data scientists to really go top of the end kind of research. Because remember that apart from the SaaS model that we have, the other big goal we see is the data set that we're creating. The AI voice analysis that we have from around the world, different dialects, different things that they're speaking about, we see that as a gold mine.
And you're creating and producing that versus acquiring it?
Both. We are creating our own data sets through our free consumer application, therefore refining our models. But yeah, that is the answer.
So what are you going to do with content help?
So let's say you speak, let's say I give this presentation, or I might tell me I had selected elevator pitch or business plan. It'll say, oh, you did not start off with a nice hook or a problem, or you did not have a concluding ask, especially for sales folks. Those are some of the content analysis we are looking at.
So you're gonna pick a theory and follow it.
And do you believe there is anything patentable of the process, or all, has anybody done any patent research to see what's already locked down out there?
No, we haven't.
For exit strategy, who would be ideal to acquire you?
So Salesforce is definitely one of them. We do see this as a addition to their big platform for salespeople. Otherwise, we also looked at coaching companies. There are some very big names out there for communication training, and that's also another one. And we see around 5 to 10x multiples on revenue. So if we can hit in our 4th year around $10 million in revenue, that is around $40, $50 million exit.
Have you looked at, like, you said you anticipate doing $1 million seed round in the future. Have you put any numbers or market cap, pre-market valuation or anything together yet?
For the seed round, not yet. All will be determined by these milestones and how big of a quality they are.
Is there a data play here? You're gathering a lot of data. What data are you collecting that you can reuse for some other purpose?
So data is the big play as well in their second phase of Orai. So one is you have, let's say, sales folks in a pharmaceutical company practicing their pitches. We can hit benchmarks. This is how, in pharma, this is the base, or this is the way you should speak and communicate that leads to higher closing rates. Since we'll integrate with your LMS or with your Salesforce, we'll have those numbers as well as your business outcomes. So that's one. Same thing with, let's say, McKinsey. They said, oh, what level of communication should my associates be or my senior partners be at? And if so, let's get them on an Orai practice path. That's one. Then number two is, we spoke with, let's say, Alexa. Alexa is big on being able to understand different dialects from around the world so that they can now sell their product in different markets. That's some conversations we had had as well.
HR software companies you can work, you have a lot of areas you can go.
Workday.
Yeah, Workday. You need to have a little wristband that shocks people when they stay home. So you can just totally eliminate. Cowbells. Yeah. There you go, cowbells.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to see, like, just the global change we can have. Imagine if everyone in the world is 10 or 20% better at communication. How much time would that save, not just individuals in their personal lives, but businesses?
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.